Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 3 worst and 4 best bikes you could buy this 2025. Number 3 on the worst bikes list is the BMW R18. The BMW R18 is a $17,000 lesson in how not to build a cruiser for the American market. It looks like it time-traveled from the 1930s with a 1800cc boxer engine that thumps like a washing machine with a loose drum. Sure, it makes 91 horsepower, but at 561 pounds of curb weight, it feels like dragging a couch uphill on gravel barefoot. The R18 is BMW's attempt to take on Harley-Davidson, but it's more Bavarian cosplay than genuine competition. The ergonomics are confusing at best. That giant engine forces your feet backward, your hands forward, and your spine into retirement. And don't expect high-tech wizardry for your $17K. You get basic rider modes and some chrome to distract you from the fact that it handles like a barge in a bathtub. Maintenance? Get ready to bleed dollars. Boxer engines aren't known for cheap upkeep, and BMW parts don't exactly scream budget-friendly. Want to upgrade anything? Good luck. Aftermarket support is thinner than its seat padding. And while BMW markets it as heritage, most riders will call it heavy and hard to live with. Even fuel economy is laughable for a modern bike, hovering around 35 miles per gallon. That's not exactly ideal when gas is $4 a gallon, and you're spending most of your ride stopping to stretch your legs and question your life choices. In a market full of refined, fun, and actually comfortable cruisers, the BMW R18 is an expensive, slow-turning sculpture, beautiful in a showroom, regrettable on the road. Number 2, Harley-Davidson Pan America. The Harley-Davidson Pan America is Harley's bold leap into the adventure touring world, but somewhere along the trail, it lost the map. Priced at over $20,000, the Pan America feels more like a midlife crisis on 2 wheels than a reliable dirt road companion. Sure, it looks rugged and high-tech with that adjustable suspension and touchscreen dash, but dig a little deeper, and it starts to feel like Harley just threw a GPS on a street bike and prayed for the best. Let's talk weight. At nearly 560 pounds wet, this thing handles off-road like a vending machine. Taking it on a rocky trail feels less like adventure and more like a full-body workout you didn't ask for. And don't get too excited about that Revolution Max 1250 engine. It's punchy, sure, but it's also choppy at low speeds, overheating in stop-and-go traffic like it's training for a sauna competition. Add in a clunky quickshifter and a seat that turns every ride into a tailbone torture test, and suddenly that $20,000 price tag starts looking more like a donation to Harley's marketing department. Then there's the software, because what's more fun than your bike randomly flashing error codes in the middle of the Mojave? For a company that built its name on simplicity and raw power, the Pan America's over-engineered electronics feel like a bad sci-fi subplot. In a market dominated by reliable, well-balanced machines from brands like BMW and KTM, the Pan America tries to be everything at once, and ends up being nothing particularly well. Number 1, Indian Chief. The Indian Chief in 2025 is what happens when heritage takes the wheel and common sense forgets to ride along. Priced at nearly $16,000 before you even add a windshield or saddlebags, this throwback cruiser feels more like a financial punchline than a bargain. Sure, it looks cool in that old-school Grandpa went to Sturgis kind of way, but when you start riding it, the charm fades faster than its fuel economy. At a beefy 670-pound curb weight, the Chief handles corners like it's allergic to lean angles. Low-speed maneuvering? Bring a gym membership. That air-cooled Thunderstroke 111 engine may sound burly at idle, but it kicks out heat like it's trying to bake your thighs in August traffic. And despite the hefty price tag, you're still stuck with analog gauges and a display that looks like it was borrowed from a 2012 treadmill. Fuel efficiency is an afterthought. It barely scrapes 30 miles per gallon on a good day, which makes long road trips feel like a slow-motion bank robbery at the gas station. Add in the vague-feeling brakes, limited tech features, and a ride quality that rattles more than reassures, and you're left wondering what you really paid for, besides the badge and a heavy dose of nostalgia. The Indian Chief may sell the image of old-school cool, but in 2025 it's outclassed by just about everything in its price range. When you're spending Harley-Davidson money, you expect Harley-Davidson refinement, or at least a ride that doesn't threaten your spine over every pothole. Now let's take a look at better alternatives. Number 4 on best bikes list is the Yamaha MT7. The Yamaha MT7 is the kind of motorcycle that proves you don't need to spend a fortune to have a wild, throttle-twisting good time. With a starting price just under $8,500, this middleweight naked bike continues to be one of the best bangs for your buck in 2025. Yamaha's kept the winning formula intact. Torque-rich 689cc parallel twin engine, punchy acceleration, and a sound that's somewhere between a growl and a dare. What makes the MT7 such a standout is how it mixes serious fun with everyday rideability. It's light, around 400 pounds wet, so it's easy to flick through traffic or lean into canyon roads without feeling like you're wrestling a wildebeest. The throttle response is snappy without being twitchy, and the ergonomics won't murder your back after an hour. The suspension is firm enough to keep things sharp but forgiving enough that your spine won't write you hate mail after hitting a pothole. Braking power is solid with dual front discs, and ABS is standard, because locking up your front wheel in 2025 is a throwback no one asked for. And for those worried about gas prices, the MT7 sips fuel like it's got a dinner date, averaging around 50 miles per gallon. This bike doesn't try to be everything, it just nails the essentials. It's affordable, quick, and actually fun without requiring a second mortgage. Whether you're commuting, cruising, or just looking for an excuse to get out of the house, the MT7 delivers joy in a raw, honest way. If motorcycles had a no BS Hall of Fame, the MT7 would already have its plaque. Number 3. Honda Rebel 1100. The Honda Rebel 1100 is the cruiser that shows up in a leather jacket, drinks black coffee, and still manages to have a friendly smile. Priced around $9,000, it punches way above its weight in value, bringing both style and muscle without draining your savings account. This bike isn't trying to look tough, it just is. It's powered by a 1084cc parallel twin engine borrowed from Honda's Africa Twin, which basically means it has the heart of an adventurer but the soul of a cruiser. What makes the Rebel 1100 stand out in 2025 is its ability to do everything well without bragging about it. It's got serious torque, just twist the throttle and you'll feel it, but it doesn't try to intimidate. The ride is smooth, the seat is low, 27.5 inches, and the handling is sharp, making city streets and long highways equally fun. Cruise control is standard, so is ABS. And if you're not into shifting gears, there's even an automatic DCT version. Yes, a cruiser that doesn't judge you for skipping the clutch. Maintenance, easy. Comfort, all day. Fuel economy, around 45 miles per gallon, so it won't ask for gas money every weekend. In a sea of overpriced, overhyped cruisers, the Rebel 1100 keeps it real. If 2025 had a motorcycle MVP, the Rebel 1100 would ride away with the trophy, and probably do a burnout on the way out. Number 2. Kawasaki Vulcan S. The Kawasaki Vulcan S is the kind of motorcycle that makes you look cool even if you're just riding to the grocery store. Priced around $7,000, it's one of the best value-for-money cruisers in 2025 without making your wallet cry. Unlike traditional cruisers that feel like they were designed for guys named Hank in the 80s, the Vulcan S is built for modern riders. Sleek design, sporty performance, and just the right amount of attitude. At the heart of the Vulcan S is a 649cc parallel twin engine that's surprisingly peppy for a cruiser. It's the same engine you'd find in sportier Kawasaki bikes, which means it doesn't just growl, it actually goes. Whether you're commuting to work or carving up weekend backroads, it handles both like a pro. The best part, it doesn't burn through gas like a V8 pickup on cheat day. Expect around 50 mpg, which your bank account will appreciate after every fill-up. What really sets it apart is the ErgoFit system, because not everyone is built like a linebacker. You can adjust the seat, handlebars, and foot pegs to fit your size, whether you're tall, short, or somewhere in between. It's like a tailor-made suit, but for your knees and spine. Also, the low seat height makes it unintimidating for newer riders while still keeping experienced ones entertained. If you're looking for a middleweight cruiser that won't break the bank or your back, the Vulcan S is about as good as it gets. Ride it once, and your garage might just get a little more exclusive. Number 1. Suzuki SV650. The Suzuki SV650 is the motorcycle equivalent of comfort food, simple, satisfying, and always hits the spot. Priced around $7,000, it delivers way more than its modest MSRP suggests, which is probably why it's still a fan favorite in 2025. For anyone looking to dip their toes into the middleweight segment without selling a kidney, this bike makes a strong case. It's the sweet spot between beginner-friendly and seasoned rider-approved, blending just enough grunt with everyday usability. Its 645cc V-twin engine is like that reliable coworker who never calls in sick, smooth, dependable, and doesn't mind doing overtime. You get 75 horsepower, which might not sound like much in a world obsessed with speed stats, but on a twisty back road or your daily commute, it's more than enough to keep a grin plastered across your helmet. The throttle response is clean, the fueling is precise, and that V-twin growl is just grumpy enough to be fun without waking the neighbors. The SV650 is also impressively lightweight at around 437 pounds, which means parking lots, U-turns, and even slow-speed traffic won't turn into wrestling matches. You get a steel trellis frame that looks good and handles even better, plus a seat that won't punish you for riding longer than an hour, rare in this price range. In a market bloated with overcomplicated tech and eye-watering price tags, the SV650 stays true to its roots: affordable, fun, and built to last. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.